What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex, and you're watching a Ragin Ronin review. I got a review for you. Last Thursday, I saw 10 Cloverfield Lane. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, 10 Cloverfield Lane? From the title alone, it suggests that it's the sequel to Cloverfield. What does this have anything to do with Cloverfield? Well, first of all, it's produced by J.J. Abrams, who produced Cloverfield. It is also produced by Matt Reeves, who is the director of Cloverfield. It is also written by Drew Goddard, who is the writer for Cloverfield. But it doesn't have a whole lot to do with Cloverfield. It's not a found footage film. It doesn't have shaky camera work. This is a film directed by first-time feature-length film director Dan Trachtenberg. And it is not exactly the sequel to Cloverfield. As a matter of fact, J.J. Abrams confirmed that it is not a sequel, it is not directly connected, and it doesn't even exist in the same universe as Cloverfield. They're just calling it the blood cousin of Cloverfield in a way. And after seeing this film, I can kind of understand why. But anyways, let's talk about the film. Let's do a review. Now, this review is going to be a very, very cautious review because I don't want to give anything away. So I'll just tell you how I feel about this film. So, excellent film. The best film of 2016. I really enjoyed this film, and you know why? It is because it has the absolute fundamentals of what makes a great film. And that is really well-written characters in very engaging situations. And at the end of the day, they had a really interesting and intriguing story. In some ways, this plays out to be like a mystery suspense thriller. Because, okay, let me just give you like a really simple rundown of the story. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, she gets in a car accident and then she wakes up in a bomb shelter where John Goodman is keeping her as a, I guess you could say she's a prisoner. In her eyes, she's a prisoner, but at the same time, John Goodman feels that he's saving her from the outside world because there's like either a nuclear fallout or some kind of thing where the surface of the Earth, or at least where they are located, is uninhabitable. So that's all you really need to know. Now, the film is very, very simple. Like I said, you only got 3 actors in it: Mary Elizabeth Winstead, John Goodman, and also John Gallagher Jr. And the story just is wrapped around their characters and these really confined claustrophobic spaces which makes up the bomb shelter. And that's all it is. It's in some ways it is a game of cat and mouse, or they're constantly playing mind games with each other because Mary Elizabeth Winstead, she wants to get out of there, and she has to find her way to get out of there without upsetting the unpredictable and creepy character that John Goodman plays. In fact, I think that John Goodman puts on one of his best performances to date because he really is scary. He's creepy, he's scary, he's really quite unpredictable. You never know what he's really thinking. And like I said, they play this intellectual game of cat and mouse, and you never know what either of them are really thinking or what they're up to. So that's what makes him scary. And his character alone, like the nature of his character, is kind of like, do you remember War of the Worlds, the remake with Tom Cruise directed by Steven Spielberg? There was the Tim Robbins character. He's kind of like a version of that, but 10 times more scarier and more aggressive. And he just really keeps the tension high because this film, like I said, it is a very, very simple concept. And this film just works and keeps you engaged purely through dialogue and acting. That's all it is. It's just dialogue and acting. Just characters interacting with each other. There's some really great moments of tension, and it's just fueled all completely through dialogue. Now, where does the Cloverfield come in? Like, really? Like, isn't this supposed to be connected to Cloverfield? Well, in some ways it is, in some ways it isn't, but I like to believe that it takes place in the same universe and timeline as the 2008 film Cloverfield. And you know what? You could totally think of it as it being that, because while Cloverfield was happening and all the destruction, there could be something else going on in another part of the country. So I like to believe that, and with that in mind, it kind of makes you enjoy the film a little bit more, because even though it, in some ways, it really has nothing to do with it, it still makes you feel a little bit connected to the previous film, and which adds a little bit more depth, or adds a little bit more intrigue to the story. So, anyways, that's all I can really say for this film. It's a very, very simple film, but it is a great film. And if you didn't enjoy it, I don't think you really understood the point of the film and the point of John Goodman's character. But I really, really loved it. I gotta say, it's the best film of 2016 so far, of course. It's very, 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 very well written, really well acted. There's some really great character moments in it. And like I said before, this is what makes a great movie. Great characters and a very engaging story. You want to know what happens next. And it's very, very suspenseful, it's very mysterious, and you're constantly glued to the screen. In fact, John Goodman's performance is in some ways, I gotta say, it's Oscar worthy, and his performance is hypnotic. You want to keep on watching what he has to say next, because you don't know what is gonna happen, and that is what makes this film so great. It is very, very unpredictable, and anything can happen. Anything. Okay? And that's it. That's all I gotta say. I've done my best to keep this film quite like hush hush. I won't really tell you what's gonna happen, and that's the best thing about this film. Don't go in reading anything about it. Don't go in going through reviews. Just watch it with no expectations, and I think you will be pleasantly surprised. I loved it. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, best movie of 2016, and I totally recommend it. Just watch it with an open mind. And there you have it. That's all I gotta say in this video. If you enjoyed this review, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. I got reviews coming up for Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon 2, and also, of course, Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. And that'll be it for the reviews of March, and then we will move on to April. I'll see you next time. Peace.